Have you ever looked into the eyes of someone you love and realized they no longer recognize you? It's a moment that crushes the heart. You smile through the pain, but deep down, it feels like losing them while they're still right in front of you. Dementia doesn't just steal memory, it slowly erases the person you knew. But what if I told you that deep in nature's pantry, hidden in the foods we eat, there are 5 tiny gifts, 5 nuts that may help slow or even reverse this terrible decline? It may sound this simple, but science says otherwise. And in this video, we're going to explore them together. Please stay with me till the end because the last nut I'll reveal might be the most powerful brain-restoring food of all. And yet, few people even know it exists. Let's start with a nut that looks remarkably like the human brain, the walnut. That's not just coincidence. Walnuts are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, especially alpha-linolenic acid, which nourishes the brain at the cellular level. These fatty acids help rebuild brain cell membranes and allow neurons to communicate more clearly. One study published by UCLA found that seniors who ate walnuts regularly scored higher on memory tests than those who didn't. Just a small handful of walnuts a day can improve focus, reduce inflammation, and protect against oxidative damage that accelerates aging in the brain. But it's not just omega-3 salve. Walnuts are also rich in polyphenols, melatonin, and vitamin E. Together, these nutrients fight free radicals, reduce brain fog, and support restful sleep, something many seniors with dementia struggle with. Imagine your loved one sleeping deeper, waking clearer, and remembering the names they've forgotten. It starts with simple changes. Add walnuts to oatmeal, toss them in a salad, or eat them raw. It's a small act of love with a potentially life-changing result. Now let's travel to South America, where we find the mighty Brazil nut. This nut is often forgotten in the snack aisle, but it holds a secret power: selenium. Just one Brazil nut contains your full daily requirement of this trace mineral. Selenium plays a critical role in protecting the brain from oxidative stress, detoxifying harmful metals, and reducing inflammation. Low selenium levels have been linked to poor cognition and increased dementia risk. But when selenium levels are restored, the brain begins to function more clearly. In one study from the journal Nutrients, seniors with mild cognitive impairment were given just one Brazil nut per day for 6 months. Their verbal fluency improved. They were able to find words again, words that had disappeared from their memory. They reconnected with loved ones, and conversations became easier. Just one nut, one simple step toward reclaiming who they used to be. If that's not worth trying, what is? The third nut on our list is the almond, beloved, familiar, and incredibly powerful. Almonds are rich in vitamin E, one of the most studied antioxidants in the fight against Alzheimer's disease. In a large study, older adults who consumed the most vitamin E from food had up to a 67% lower risk of developing dementia compared to those who consumed the least. That's not a statistic, that's a wake-up call. And it comes from something as easy as adding almonds to your daily routine. But vitamin E isn't the only secret in almonds. They're loaded with magnesium, which calms the nervous system, supports better sleep, and improves memory recall. They also contain L-carnitine and riboflavin, nutrients that increase brain energy and improve communication between brain cells. So if your loved one is tired, confused, or withdrawn, almonds may help reignite that spark inside. Make them part of a trail mix, soak them overnight, or blend them into almond milk, whatever helps get them into the diet daily. Fourth on our healing list is the sweet, rich hazelnut. Often associated with desserts, hazelnuts are a hidden gem for seniors with cognitive decline. They're bursting with folate, vitamin B9, which helps with emotional regulation and prevents mental confusion. Older adults with low folate levels often struggle with memory loss, irritability, and slower thinking. By restoring folate through food, you give the brain what it needs to rebuild. Hazelnuts also provide healthy fats that keep blood vessels flexible, allowing oxygen and nutrients to reach the brain more efficiently. Better blood flow means better thinking, faster recall, and clearer focus. In addition, Hazelnuts are rich in proanthocyanins compounds that reduce inflammation in the brain and may even prevent shrinkage of brain tissue. A 2020 study showed hazelnuts improving learning and memory in aging brains. That's real potential for real people. But perhaps the most underrated nut of all is the pine nut. Tiny, buttery, and often overlooked, pine nuts are a quiet powerhouse for the aging mind. They contain zinc, iron, and magnesium, 3 essential minerals that support the brain's electrical signaling and energy production. Zinc helps with memory. Iron delivers oxygen to brain cells. Magnesium calms the mind and improves sleep. These are the building blocks of a healthy brain. What makes pine nuts especially fascinating is their unique fatty acid, phenolinic acid. This rare compound increases cholecystokin, a hormone that boosts attention, mood, and memory. Pine nuts also support dopamine production, which helps regulate emotion, motivation, and alertness. For seniors struggling with depression or apathy, common side effects of dementia, pine nuts could make a meaningful difference in emotional well-being. Now, I know what you might be thinking: how can something so simple, so ordinary, possibly help with something as big as dementia? But remember, dementia doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow decline, fueled by years of nutrient deficiencies, oxidative stress, and inflammation. What if the answer isn't just in pills and procedures, but in food? What if the brain simply needs what nature intended it to have all along? Let me share the story of Helen and her father, Jim. Jim was a carpenter, sharp as a tack, always solving puzzles and building things with his hands. But after 78, he began forgetting the names of his tools. He got lost driving in his own neighborhood. Doctors called it early-stage dementia. But Helen wasn't ready to give up. She researched, planned, and created a daily nut blend for him: to walnuts, 1 Brazil nut, 5 almonds, 4 hazelnuts, and a tablespoon of pine nuts. Every morning, with breakfast. Within a few weeks, Jim's mood changed. He smiled more. He remembered old jokes. He started organizing his workshop again. After 2 months, he was helping Helen fix a broken fence. He still had forgetful moments, but something had shifted. The fog had begun to lift, and it started with 5 humbled nuts and a daughter's belief that healing was still possible. You see, the human brain is a miracle. Even in our 70s, 80s, and 90s, it can grow new connections. This is called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and heal. But it can't do it on its own. It needs the right nutrients, and these 5 nuts provide exactly that. They offer healthy fats, antioxidants, minerals, and compounds that feed and protect the brain. If you or someone you love is fighting the darkness of dementia, don't wait for it to get worse. Don't sit in silence. Take action. Start small. Create your own brain mix. Keep it in a jar. Make it a daily ritual. Eat it with breakfast or enjoy it as a snack. 1 handful a day, 1 act of love and hope could begin to change everything. Here's a simple recipe to try: to walnuts, 1 Brazil nut, 5 almonds, 4 hazelnuts, and 1 tablespoon of pine nuts. Add a few blueberries or dark chocolate chips if you like. Blend it into oatmeal, yogurt, or even sprinkle it over toast. Let it nourish the body and the soul. So many seniors feel like they're disappearing, but these nuts, in their quiet, powerful way, say otherwise. They say, you are still here. You are still you, and healing is possible. If this video moved you, if you saw your loved one in these words, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it, post it, tell someone. You could be the reason a memory is saved, a smile returns, a relationship is restored. And don't forget, stay tuned for our next video, where we reveal 3 bedtime teas that, when combined with these brain-boosting nuts, may help repair the brain even while you sleep. You won't want to miss it. Until then, hold on to hope, because memories can fade, but love always remembers.